Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to Lady K Chat, a podcast that is designed for men and women to become better versions of themselves, which is broadcast every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Various subjects will be spoken upon, such as relationships, health and wellness, personal development, wealth building, children, and so much more. She is a two-time Amazon best-selling author, an international speaker, and life coach. She is Lady K. And now for your host, Lady K.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lady K Chat podcast. You are here with your favorite host today, Lady K. And today we have a very touchy subject that a lot of women just have a hard time opening up and talking about. So this is why I invited the lovely Miss Patricia Womack-Elston with me today of I Am Radiant. So we can talk about this issue that y'all tend to hide behind, because I'm here to tell you no more. And that's the message today. No more hiding, no more feeling embarrassed. You're probably saying, Lady K, what are you talking about? I'm talking about when it comes to that time of the month and you're on your menstrual cycle and you're having those enormous cramps and you're going through your clothes. I'm sure we can all relate. We have always been there, have done that. Trish, can you relate to that?
Yes, I can, in more ways than one.
Right. And I'm me too. And I know you talk about this too, but every time that time comes, I never wear white. And I remember one time you was like, wear white. I said, she crazy? I'm not wearing white on when this is happening. But you were so confident in your products. We'll talk about that a little bit later. A lot of women have that fear, not even just wearing the white. You know, when they're out in public, you know, you got to constantly ask your friend or your family, am I leaking? But here's the number one thing that I want to ask, Trish. Why do you think a lot of women are afraid to talk about this topic?
Kalima, first of all, let me say thank you. Thank you for opening up your platform. Thank you for wanting to talk about this issue, to open up people's ears and their eyes to what it is that we suffer with on a day-to-day basis, from as young as, I would even go as 9 years old, up until whenever God says it's no longer time for you to have that cycle.
Right.
But then you have other issues after that. Now,
you're right.
Right?
Right.
I think they're afraid to talk about it because first, when we go back to the Bible, in the Bible, they made it shameful. The females, when they had their monthly, and I forgot to put this on silent, when they had their monthly, they were shut away. They looked at them as they was dirty. What is dirty about having a cycle? That means your eggs wasn't fertilized, so it's time for those to be released out your body.
Absolutely.
Where's the dirt? We're self-cleaning our body. It's a natural process. Just like you go to the bathroom, we release our eggs.
Right.
Same thing. Same exact thing. There's no taboo with it. Man made it taboo, and we just passed it on generation after generation after generation.
Right. And I also think too, it comes to lack of education, because if it was, presented the way that you just, presented, I think about, I never thought it that way, because like you are right, Trish, when that time of the month come, and if the egg does not get fertilized, the body is actually cleansing. And to me personally, I think that's amazing. The woman body is just amazing. We go through so much. We carry a life in us. That right there is like, wow, we carry life.
Okay.
We carry life.
We are life. We give life.
Yes.
Okay? Like, when you think about that, you be like, wait a minute, hold on. And then let's go a little further on that. When we see what we procreated, and then we watch this infant grow from your hands to be as tall, if not taller, than you.
Right.
Like, how is that possible?
Right. Sometimes you have to step into like, wow, just like me, you know, my oldest son is 18, and I'm still pinching myself. I can't believe this boy is 18. I remember when I was carrying you,
Okay.
you know?
Okay. Right.
So yeah, I can
No.
definitely relate to that when you say, you know, wow, this is what I created. And it's so beautiful, you know?
Exactly. Mm. Think about the first time. I mean, and we're going off topic, but we're still on topic.
Right.
Because when you think about the first time you felt your baby move inside of you.
Oh, oh. That's a pressure. No, this is right on topic because we have to think about, again, the seeds are released because the egg wasn't fertilized. So we
Exactly.
create life. So if we're telling people we are creating life, this should change the misconception that you have of menstrual. So you can go and talk about it because it's normal, because we all go through it in some way and shape. And now, Trish, I know I shared you before I changed my eating habits. My flow was very heavy and cramping to the 10th floor, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, you know, the doctor's got to put me on Motrin 800. And I'm like, you know, I don't want to keep taking these pills. What are my alternatives? You know, and then one thing that makes me mad, that makes me upset, is that in our community, when we are going through this, you know, then fibroids might might come into the
Yes.
play, and then others come into the play, and then what are they recommending for us? Surgery. So now it goes back to what I said normally. What are the natural ways? Why always in our community, surgery is always the first thing they recommend?
Okay, let's go there. Why surgery? First of
Yes.
all, in our community, we know we were born to be doctors. We was born to be scientists. We was born to be mathematicians. We was born to be engineers. We created everything that you see.
Right.
It was downloaded into us so that we were able to do this. And now they say, oh, you having this reason with your menstrual. Oh, let's have surgery. Let's take that out. So therefore, y'all won't be able to produce any more inventions.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So if we start cutting y'all off now, y'all will be non-existent.
Mm.
How,
Ooh,
however,
ooh. You don't know, right there. I felt that when you said that, because there's always a strategy to keep our community in bound. You know what I'm
yes,
trying to say? So,
and bondage, and
then if
bondage.
you, right, it doesn't. If you think about it, Trish, because you know, right now we're in the month of February, you know, and I'm celebrating Black History. But if you think about it, last month when we went through, before we even had the inauguration, and when those people raided, you know, the oh gosh,
Capital.
the Capitol, even with that spoke volume too. It showed that when we try to peacefully protest about the things that we want because we want change or we want equal rights, someone in the opposite color of us can, you know, can get more than we can, because if that was us out there, I'm sorry, we'll be splattered. We wouldn't even made it to the steps.
Hello. First of all, when you think about that, let's go back before January 6th. Let's go back to 2020 when we was having the Black Lives Matter movement. When we was marching peacefully in Washington, D.C., you saw troops up and down. When we was marching in New York, you saw troops right there. For what? What was they prepared to do to us?
Right.
However,
Because if you think about it, Trish, honestly, when it comes to our Black men, you know, they do the modern, I call it like this. No, I'm gonna say this first. Modern day lynching. One, when it comes to us, they'll put us under surgery to tie us up. Modern day lynching to the men, we shoot them and we kill them.
so they can't go home to their families.
Right, so they can't. So the woman, who had the baby, oh, she can just collect welfare. She can just stay on government assistance. She don't need to get too far. They don't read. So
Okay.
this is why we don't know natural ways to help our body. So let's talk about natural ways, Trish, how we can talk about, going from those heavy cramps and having those heavy flows, because I know you have a solution, but I know also too, diet is very important.
Diet is first and foremost. And when I say diet, I'm not talking about like a diet. I'm talking about diet as in the food you take into your body on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
First of all, let's go with the milk. Why are we drinking cow's milk?
Don't get me started.
Okay, growing up, we was breastfed.
Right.
From our mothers. We got the nutrients we needed from our mothers. But now you're telling us to drink this formula that was made in somebody's lab. Drink this cow's milk that is made for a mammal, their babies, not their calves, not ours. And then, okay, that's the milk. And now they genetically producing our fruits and vegetables. Okay, but what's wrong with the fruits and vegetables that grow up out the ground?
Right.
Why you're spraying it with pesticides to keep the insects away from it? However, by keeping the insects away from it, what chemicals are you putting inside our bodies?
Absolutely.
Okay?
Right.
Which is why we need to make sure we cleanse our fruits and vegetables before we consume them.
Right.
Okay, and I'm not talking about with cold water, hot water.
Right.
If you could drop them in some boiling water to hurry up and get it off and take it out.
And I'm going to kick it up
blend.
a notch. A lot of people don't know this too. If you put baking soda in the water, right, you would literally see the wax coming off the fruits. And a lot of people don't know that. So it's just that simple to take the wax off.
Okay. But think about it. Why are the apples so glossy?
Right. Because they got to pretty.
Okay, to appeal to your eye.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's funny that you said that, Trish. You said, they do things that's appealing to our eyes. So we was kind of conditioned that way, right? So when we hear about something else, like, and it tastes nasty and it don't look like ill, and then we question it, not realizing that's what your body needs. Because I can't remember when I was younger, right? My grandma used to give me some, it was disgusting, girl. I can't even think of the name of it, but it was a thick syrup. And we were really sick.
My goodness. Oh my goodness.
What was that? I know you know. I can't think of it.
Oil? What's a buckwheat?
Yes, castor oil. There you go. There you go.
Now, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't take it as a child.
Okay. I
didn't, and by the grace of God, we were not sick. Okay. First and foremost, because my grandfather, let me say him, every day he came home from work, he had fruits and vegetables. He had better not catch us with a stick of gum or candy. And if he did, throw it in the trash. So that was your medicine right there. Yes. So that was your medicine. We snacked and ate it outside. But as soon as we saw that car pull up, believe me, we was getting rid of it. We was getting rid of it.
But you know what? That was the great thing that our grandparents instilled in us, because just like my grandmother, she comes from the South too. Let me tell you something. Her family grew their fruits and vegetables, and they only went to the store to maybe buy little things. Exactly. For the most stuff, they grew their stuff. They even grew their cows. They grew their meat.
Exactly. And look what we do. Let's get on a subject of meat.
Right.
Since we're on that topic.
Right.
Here it is. Now, I commend the people that go out and hunt their food to eat. Not hunting for the fun of it. Okay? Because they know their food is fresh. Here we are running to the store to buy this food that only God knows how long it's been up there.
Right.
Because, if it don't sell, I'm not saying they do this. However, if it don't sell, they could take it out, take it in the back, rewrap it.
They do.
And put it back out.
Absolutely. They
What?
refreshing it. They have color for it. So they,
Okay.
again, like you said, it's appealing to the eyes. And let's be real, us as human beings, we like things that's appealing to the eye. Of course, nobody wants nothing ugly, but the raw truth is, again, we don't know what they're doing to that meat. And we can't help it. But if we kind of somewhat take instance of a little bit what we learned back in the day and apply it now, which a lot of people are getting on the bandwagon to do, and I think it's great. Like for myself, you already know my testimony. I gave up meat over a year ago, and I'm on the pescatarian diet. And since then, oh my gosh, my life, my body, it feels so much better. I don't feel the heaviness. And one of my biggest weaknesses was cheese. Oh my God, it was so hard for me to give up cheese, but I did it, and I allowed my taste buds to get acclimated to the vegan cheese. But a lot of people are not willing to do that, and I understand that. But I always tell people, take the baby steps. You don't have to jump.
First of all, depending on the household you live in, you could sneak it in and they won't even realize it.
You're right. You're right. Because my 5-year-old, he like half of the food that I make.
They don't know.
They don't know the difference.
They only know the difference when they see you preparing it.
Right.
Then it's up. What's that?
Right.
Get out the kitchen. Just wait till it's done.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. And then you judge it.
Exactly.
Then you judge it.
Like my 18-year-old, he might look at it and be like, maybe. But like I said, the 5-year-old, he's getting accustomed to it. So it's so much easier with him. So like I said, it's hard when you've been eating certain foods your whole life and you're like, I don't want to give it up. But I have to say this, and this is pretty sad. A lot of people wait till they get an ailment or something happens, something dramatically in their life to say, oh, I have to change. And, and that's just what it is. That's just life. What they said, a hard head make
the soft behind.
Right.
A soft behind.
Right.
But that is what it takes. You have to hit rock bottom before you make a change.
Right. And that's always usually the case. Now, Trish, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about your product. I don't know if you're going to do a demo for us, but tell us about your products and how it can help, the woman to relieve, their menstruals.
I'm not going to do the demo.
Okay.
We're just going to speak about it because, there are, before the products came out in the stores, I heard my grandmother say, I'm on my rag. I'm on my rag. And I didn't understand what she was saying because at that time, I didn't have a cycle.
Right.
I wasn't even near my cycle. Okay. But maybe she should have explained it a little further to help me. That's the lack of education, right?
Exactly.
Okay. I'm on my rag. And then when I did get my cycle and I'm in her house with my product of what we go in the store and buy right now, she was like, what in the heck is that? I'm like, I got my cycle. No, what is this new finagle stuff y'all using? Who created this? Why y'all can't continue using what we've been using?
Please.
And wait a minute. I don't know how old you are. When I first, with my cycle, I had to wear a sanitary belt to hold the pad in place. It wasn't no adhesive on it.
Yeah. Now, let me tell you about my grandmother from what she told me. They took a white cloth and put it down there.
Cotton.
Yes.
Cotton. Exactly.
That's what they had to do.
And that's what they meant. We're on our rag. That's what that was. Okay. Right. So let's fast forward. Man created this product, put some adhesive. Woman went crazy because now it's not shifting. So we thought.
Right.
So we thought. And now today we have Rain Premium Sanitary Napkins. And that is the one I am an ambassador for. That is the one I believe in. That's the one that is in my household, my mother's household, my sister, and my family.
Good.
And a few of my friends and neighbors. The difference between ours and what's in the store is what it's made out of. The
Right.
ones in the store are made out of recyclable trash, newspaper. They actually dye the wood pulp and the trash to make us, again, appeal into our eyes, to make
Wow.
us think that this is 100% cotton
Right.
purity. You know, we see white, it got to be clean.
Right.
However, we're sitting in this pad and it tells us on the packaging up to 10 hours. But if it's up to 10 hours, why am I getting up, not even an hour, having my girlfriends check me from behind to see if I leaked?
Right.
Why am I going to sleep, waking up, my undergarments is soiled, my pajamas are soiled, my sheet is soiled,
Yep.
and maybe my mattress? Why? Because it's a lie.
Right.
Because the backing of it is plastic. What happens with plastic? What does the bag say on the plastic? Be careful, this could cause
Suffocation.
Exactly. But what are we doing? We got that pad on our undergarments, the closest to our body as
Right.
possible, our
Right.
opening to our life. And it's suffocating our vaginas, which is why it's a breathing ground for bacteria, which is why we suffer with endometriosis, fibroids, because of the products we're using and consuming.
Wow.
Now, rain is cotton. It
Okay.
absorbs up to 10 times its amount. I'm not saying wear it for over 4 hours. No, change as you would normally change.
Right.
However, it is not that big and bulkiness that you're accustomed to getting from the other ones to make you believe the bulkier, the more absorbent it is. That's a lie.
Right.
The bulkier, the more uncomfortable, the more irritation, the more infection, the more rash you have. Before my daughter, my youngest daughter, who is 16, before she started using Rain products, she started off with the ones in the store, and then I moved her to my other sanitary pad, and now I have her with this one because
Okay.
the one we improved on it. Before she started using these products, my baby would cry, be bored up in a corner, crying to no end.
Wow.
And to know you can't do nothing because no, I'm not giving her no painkillers because the only thing those painkillers is going to do is subside them for what? 4 to 6 hours. And then she's going to have to take another set.
And then guess what? And then on top of that, she might have a side effect.
Hello? Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back. The doctors, oh, she's having pain like that. Put her on birth control to help with that regular flow and everything else to help with
Yes. Mm-hmm.
no. We're not going through all that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna find a product that's made for us, by us. And when I say for us, by us, for woman, by woman.
By woman.
Because we know what we deal with. We know what we want to be relieved from.
Right.
And it's not pills. So with the Rain products, you don't have to take a pill. You don't have to take a hot water bottle. You don't, your cravings for the chocolate and for the salty and the sweet, they subside.
They do.
They
And
do.
I can testify to that. They really do.
Okay. My baby girl, when it was time for her cycle, and I can't even blame her because that's how I used to be. My husband used to be like, you on your cycle coming because you're a real bitch right now.
Oh gosh.
My attitude was out the door. And I saw that attitude in my daughter. And at first, when she was giving me attitude, in my head, I used to be like, this little girl don't know. I would snatch her up and throw her somewhere. And then
But you didn't understand the PMS, which a lot of people do not understand the PMS.
And then it hit me. I said, your cycle is about to come. I was like, you get a pass. I had to give her the pass because I understood.
Right.
I was able to relate. And men can't relate to this.
Exactly, because they don't go through this.
Exactly. However, I must admit, since Rain has been in my life, and no, I don't get my cycle. However, I suffer with the hot flashes. But as long as I got my Rain, what hot flashes?
And let me ask you a question, because you said you don't have your cycle no more, and but you still use the products. So that means they have the panty liners available, correct?
Honey, do they? Do they? We got 2 panty liners. Well, first of all, we got 5 different products.
Okay.
We got an overnight pad, which is for those that it's not just for these people, but these is the ones I gear it towards.
Right.
Those that just have babies. Because for all this time, you know, when you go to the hospital, they give you that big napkin.
Yes.
So these are in place of those.
Okay.
And then it helps pull out all of the toxins that's in your body that was left over.
I love that.
Okay. And then if some people have the endo, so their flow is heavier than normal. So I recommend it for them. And then we have the heavy. And then we have the moderate. All of these got wings. Okay.
Good.
And then we have the liner. And the liner with wings have the same absorbency as our pads. And then we have the regular liner with no absorbency, but for those that want to feel safe, like, okay, they may have a yeast infection, antibiotics. So if they put on this pad, this could help them.
Right.
Not only that, but for ladies that have bladder issues, our pads help them with that.
Wow. But they really extended their product line, because last time I didn't know they had that. So that's awesome.
And not for nothing, you know, men's, I don't know if you've been in the store into that area to look and see what products are there.
Right.
But they have pads for men who's dealing with prostate issues.
Wow.
Now, our pads, yes, the men could use our pads.
Okay.
For the same reason, and it will help pull out the toxins that they're dealing with.
Right.
We have men that use our liners inside their shoes.
Wow.
Oh, girl, it's serious, because if you have inflammation in your body, this is going to help pull it out.
Okay. And this is interesting.
I was in New Orleans 2 years ago, and I was doing a 5K. And I had tore my meniscus in my knee a couple of years back. So every now and again, it will flare up.
Okay.
So here I am, ready to do this 5K and everything. That morning, my knee acting up. And I'm like, okay, you know what? You're not going to be able to run, but you will walk. You will walk this 5K. You will get it done. Just before I walked out my hotel room, something said, put the pad in your shoe.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I'll put the pad in my sneakers, went about my business. Not only did I exercise, because, you know, we had to do a warm up before, I walked, I jogged, and I ran.
Wow.
And that night, I went dancing.
Wow. See, it's proof to what I just said in the beginning, Trish. What about the natural ways? Because you have a product that's actually trying to take the toxins that's released in your body. See, and again, we all think we have to go back to medicine. No.
The earth is our medicine.
Absolutely.
The earth is our medicine.
Absolutely.
And not for nothing, that's what the Bible tells us. And not to push the Bible on anyone.
Right.
On anyone. because it is a book, but it is a Bible that has life lessons in it to help us get through our day-to-day procedures, our
Absolutely.
progress, to take us from A to Z. You know, it's how you apply the words inside of it to your life.
Yes.
How you get the revelation from what's going on. You know, I created a kit that has all of my pads inside of it, because a lot of females say, oh, their daughter didn't start yet. And we don't know which product to start her on because I don't know how her flow is.
Right.
But in this kit, it's about this big. It's all of the products, all of the liners and the pads. So this way, the child and the mother could talk about each pad. Oh, I like this one because it was this length. Oh, it needed to be a little shorter, or it should have been longer. So she has a variety in there to use.
That's very smart.
I have one mother whose daughter is 12 years old. When her daughter first got her cycle, it's about 2 years ago.
Okay.
She called me. Now, mind you, when I tell you it was bleeding outside, it was bleeding outside. She called me to tell me her daughter started her cycle and can I bring pads to her? You don't have to bring them today. You could bring them tomorrow. I said, well, what do you have in your house? You know, she goes, oh, I got the medical pads that I use, you know, for my patients and stuff.
Right.
I'm like, oh, it's cold outside. But my conscience is like, this is what you do.
Right.
This is how you protect these babies.
Right.
Let that child suffer. Don't do it. And I think her mother just hit me up just now saying her name. That's funny. So I tell my daughter, come with me. We're going to go to the store and I'm going to drop this at the same time. I was going to get ice cream. Okay. So I go to the mother. I give her a couple of packs and I was like, here, because she said her daughter was on the couch crying. Okay. I said, here, take these. Hopefully they work for her.
Right.
The next day, she was like, well, that same night, Trisha, you ain't have to come out. I appreciate you coming out. I was like, no, it's okay. I couldn't rest with myself.
Right. Your spirit man said no.
Hello? Would you let your baby suffer?
No.
Exactly.
So thank God the Holy Spirit prompted you, but the key thing was you was obedient.
Yes. Yeah. Girl, look, I already know about disobedience.
Right.
I already know about that. I already felt that wrath. So
right.
I'm not signing it back up for that.
I hear that.
The baby girl was getting her cycle again. She ain't have no more pads. Her mother was going to the store. She told her mother, mommy, call Miss Trish.
I hear that.
Those pads.
So, Miss Trish, since everybody wants to call you and they know that they can call you to get the hookup, can you please tell everyone how can they contact you if they wanted to purchase these pads for themselves?
Okay. If they want to come directly to me, my number, 917-406-6679. However, we do ship directly to your door. We have an auto ship program where you could get them the same time each month. So you never have to worry about running out. You will always have a supply on hand. Even if you have a couple of friends dropping over and they cycle come, go to my website, sheisajewel.com. That's SHEISAJEWEL.com. Yes, she is a jewel because she is a jewel.
She is a Jew, and we have to protect our precious Jew. So everyone, I hope that you got an education today with me and Trish. Please go out and support, and please also help yourself. But until next time, continue to follow me here at the Lady K Chat podcast here on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And you can also reach us on our website at www.ladyk, and K is spelled Kay, enterprises.com. Oh, I apologize. Enterprisesinc.com. Let me repeat it for you one more time. www.ladykenterprisesinc.com. And everyone, you have a blessed night. And thank you so much, Trish.
No, thank you, Kalima. Thank you, Lady K.
You're very welcome. Everybody, enjoy your night.
Yes, be blessed. Blessings, blessings.
Lady K.